What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, I want to talk about LeBron James, and he continuously make these statements about him being a goat and giving himself flowers and picking himself right. And I know it almost seemed like LeBron James would get tired of the pushback. But I think that at this point in time in LeBron James' career, he knows that if he don't uh, blow his own horn, so to speak, then most people won't, right? And so that's why he feel the need to do that, because even when before LeBron James even put himself in that GOAT conversation, it was never really a topic. Like once he came out and said, they beat Golden State. That's what, and he won that championship in Cleveland. That's what made him the GOAT. Before that, it was not, people were not really talking about LeBron James in that light, right? And so LeBron James probably felt like if he didn't put himself out there like that, then most people wouldn't put him out there like that. And LeBron James feel like he needs to be seen in that light in order to not just for his ego, but for like financial reasons, right? And for his legacy. When Kobe Bryant retired from basketball, you see all of the appreciation and how the fans treated Kobe when he left basketball. And that's because Kobe Bryant left it all out on the court. And that's the same thing with every great basketball player. They give you moments and they create moments in their career that people that people just, that draws people to them, right? And it makes people want to, give people fond memories. You say that it's about, if you were old enough to have seen Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play, that was the situation with him, Magic and Bird, Mike, like all those guys put the work in. And when you hold Kobe's career, LeBron's career up to somebody like Kobe, and you think about all the great moments that Kobe gave, or when you hold his career up to somebody career like Mike or Bird, any of those guys, right? LeBron James' career don't shine as much as they do, right? Because LeBron James went to the championship 10 times and lost 6. In 2011, LeBron James, he collapsed. So you could point to a lot of reasons why LeBron James is not on those guys' level, right? And so LeBron James felt like he had to put himself in that category, because when he retires, he wants to be marketable like what Mike is, right? People buy Michael Jordan, his sneakers, his merchandise out of like for nostalgic reason, not just because they, the shoes look good, or you think they're going to make you a better athlete, but because of what Mike did on the court, what Mike represented on the court. So Mike is marketable. Kobe is marketable, right? And so, but LeBron, he's still playing, and his merch is not as popular as Mike's, and so that just says a lot. So Stephen A. Smith, Perkins, what's the guy named Kendrick Perkins, and this guy Mad Dog was talking about LeBron James, putting, just continuously bringing up this GOAT conversation. They made some great points, and I want to add to what they say about LeBron James. So here's the audio.
The problem is none of those guys are ever saying that.
That's true.
That's the problem.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the problem. We don't hear Shaq calling himself the GOAT. And Shaq does a lot of podcasting. He's on television. He's always talking about other people. Matter of fact, I believe he has Steph Curry as his GOAT right now. So he's never talking about himself. See, when we get to this point, and this is the problem that I have with Braun, is that instead of letting other people glorify you or give you your flowers, or a guy like me come on television that been through the trenches with you since childhood, let me come on and tell the world why you're the GOAT. You sit back and just accept the flowers. We don't never hear Jordan say it. And here we are again. And I know we're going to pick it up, but he knows we're going to pick up the soundbite. Mm-hmm. It's just here.
He wants us to.
We're in the NBA Finals.
All right, let me say this. LeBron James, I think it's almost like desperation. Like I said, LeBron James didn't put up his career stacked up against theirs is not as impressive. But I do think that some people would, I don't know if they would call LeBron James the GOAT if he had not aborted up. But I think a lot of people would, admire his game, and they would, they're fans of LeBron James. But that's not good enough for LeBron James because he has to be seen as like one of the greatest in order for him to be marketable after his career over with, right? And so this right here, anytime he keep tossing his name into that GOAT conversation, he's making himself more polarizing and he's getting more pushback. So I don't know if that's his, that's his strategy or it's just desperation.
NBA Finals.
And we're being distracted because of this, right?
Yeah, but does he have something to do with the timing of the release of the article? I mean, it's possible. I don't know the answer.
Yeah, but he got something to do with the timing of the damn.
There have been plenty of times. I remember I've gotten myself in heat on numerous occasions because people treat something that I said like I said it yesterday, and I said it 6 months ago, but the damn thing was held until 6 months later. I mean, it happens with magazine articles and stuff like that is what I'm saying, which is very frustrating because, damn it, had it been 6 months later, I might have said something a little bit different than I said 6 months ago, depending on.
It don't matter if he said it 6 months ago. He's been on this campaign since 2016. That's 10 years. So if the article, that's really beside the point. If this article was written a year ago, then it's still an article that is it's still relevant, right? So the 6 month thing don't really hold it out of water.
On what the question was and what have you. But to speak directly about LeBron, Big Perk is absolutely right in this regard. He's talking about they would say the same thing. No, they wouldn't. Michael Jordan would never tell you he's the GOAT. I know Michael Jordan. I speak to him often. I'm telling you, he has never, ever, ever once called himself the greatest. Ever. Mm-hmm. It has never happened.
When you play basketball, you play your sport the way that Mike did, Kobe did, Magic and Bird, the way Isaiah, the way Shaq played. You don't have to. You can be like what Kendrick Perkins said about Shaq. Like Shaq always give other people their flowers, and sometimes I to the point where I disagree. Like Shaq, he used to big up Joel Embiid. Then he used to big up what was it? What's the big guy? Not Luka, but the Joker, right? Shaq always giving other different basketball players their flowers because he don't really, people. I mean, Shaq don't have to tell you he was in my opinion, most dominant basketball player. He was just an unstoppable force in the paint. So he don't have to take an ad out, in the newspaper, or he don't have to, put a billboard in Times Square, nothing like that, because everybody know that already. So he can go out and appreciate and give other people their flowers. Whereas though it seems like LeBron James feel like if he don't pat himself on the back, or he has to take down other basketball players in order to make himself look good. And that's the wrong approach. And I think that approach is not really going to serve him well once he retires.
Kobe Bryant didn't call himself the greatest. Kareem didn't call himself the greatest. Magic didn't call himself the greatest. Bird didn't call himself the greatest. No, that's not true. That's not true. He could say they might have thought it, but they never articulated it to a reporter for print purposes to be disseminated to the masses. It is LeBron James, which brings us to LeBron James. Why would he do that? Because the man is.
I think, like I said, I think he does that out of desperation because it's a business move more so than anything, right? Because once LeBron James retire, he's not going to be as like, and Michael Jordan is he's a one-off, right? But he's not going to be as marketable as Michael Jordan. He's not going to be marketable as Kobe Bryant, you know. But I think LeBron James, had he played the way that these guys did and had that passion for the game like they did and left it out all on the court, then what happens? It's like a residual effect. Like you get paid, you get rewarded for the work that you put in throughout your career. Right. And so LeBron James always took the easy way out, and now he wants to be rewarded like he was one of the greats, man. And people just don't see him like that. And so, you know, people continue to push back every time LeBron James try to put himself in that GOAT conversation, and rightfully so. If you saw any of those guys play from back in the day, man, you know, like it's just he don't have that kind of shine that the rest of those guys did.
Addicted to trying to control the narrative. These are the reasons problems exist. And so many people who support him, they haven't seen the forest from the trees. They get caught up in that moment. He's saying something that moment. You know why you can't get caught up in the moment with LeBron James? Because LeBron James ain't caught up in the moment. Everything he does is calculating. He knows exactly.
Yeah, I agree with Stephen A. Smith. He is a very calculated person, but I think you know, it's going to backfire on him because you got to put in that work, man. You know, and that's what fans want, because like fan is short for fanatical, right? And people are fanatic about their sports, and they want to see a certain type of effort. You know, you got this guy, Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama, man, out here playing, and you know, people are already saying that he's the face of the league, and LeBron James is still playing. So, you know, LeBron James, the work that he put in would have sustained him through whatever Victor Wembanyama did. It'll set him apart, you know. So whatever Victor Wembanyama do it won't take away from what LeBron James has already done. That's why LeBron James can't overtake Mike, Kobe, Magic, or all those guys, because I mean the work speaks for itself, you know. So that's my take on it. But I think a lot of people will continue to push back on LeBron as long as LeBron James keep on, you know, trying to push this narrative, man. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's too late now for LeBron James. You know, by the time he realized that, like, it's hard work to get into, to captivate the minds and the hearts of basketball fans. That's how you reap rewards once you finish playing, and he didn't do that to the extent that those other greats did. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a message, and I'll check you out in the next video. Peace.